So in the biggest game of Luka's NBA career, he fouled out with over 4 minutes remaining in a one-possession game. It was just the third time Doncic has fouled out in his 6 years in the NBA, and it was his first ever disqualification in the playoffs. And moments ago, I spoke with the five-time All-Star to just discuss how he's internalizing the Mavs loss and a series that seems to be slipping away. Now that you've had a chance to sleep on it, reflect on it a little bit, how do you reflect on fouling out for the first time in your playoff career?
Yeah, it was tough. Probably wasn't the smartest thing. But just, it was a physical game. To get 6 fouls, I didn't expect it.
You're the ultimate competitor. I'm sure you wanted to be out on the floor. How did it feel watching your teammates have to battle without you when the game was within reach for those final 4 minutes?
It's tough. I always say, it's easier to be in a game than being on the bench. I was more nervous on the bench.
Do you feel like if you had been in the game, the outcome could have been different?
I feel, yeah, but, I have trust in my teammates. I think we played some good possession. I have believed that we were going to win the game. Obviously, having me out there, helps Kyrie a little bit more. So, obviously, I think it'll be a different outcome, but you never know.
So Kyrie said after the game, what did you say to Luka? And he said at this point, you just kind of have to give him a hug and tell him it's okay. But did you feel like you let your teammates down?
Yeah, of course. Like I say, it wasn't the smartest thing to do, especially in this situation. It's the finals. You got to give everything. A little tie out there. But yeah, Kyrie's been great for me, just having him on here.
So what did you say to your teammates afterwards?
It's my bad. Can't do that, especially in the NBA finals. Regular season is a little bit different, but can't really do that in the finals.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you guys did figure something out towards the end of the game. It's just hard to dig yourselves out of a 20-point hole. What did you find towards the end that you feel like you can build on moving forward?
I think we were having fun. We were playing our basketball, and that's what we do. We got stops. We ran with pace. And that's kind of how we play the whole playoffs, outside of 1-2 games before the finals. So just having fun out there. We kind of forgot to have fun.
You have been dealing with a mountain of different ailments that continue to pile on. How are you feeling now?
100%.
You always say that.
It's just no excuses. I never have excuses. It's a lot. A lot of people are banged up. Just at the end of the day, it's a lot of games to play.
Do you feel like you still have another level that you can reach even with being this banged up?
Yeah, especially, helping my teammates out. They played a different kind of defense we've never seen before in these playoffs. Just let us go one-on-one. So I think I have to help out my teammates more.
Your defense has been under a lot of scrutiny, maybe because you're hurt, maybe because of something else. Do you feel like you can help your teammates more? Do you think the scrutiny you're under is fair?
Yeah, for sure. They're always going to talk about it, but at the end of the day, I don't think the biggest problem is our defense at this point. I think we scored 3 games under 100 points. that gives credit to Boston's defense. But I think our offense is a little bit more problematic right now than defense. Like I say, we never scored three times in a row under 100 points, especially with me and Kai out there. So that gives Boston defense a big credit. So I think we got to do a better job with that. Like I said, on 20 points, we got to play with a little more pace. I
know you said you're 100%, but do you expect to get another pain-killing shot before Game 4?
It's for cameras. Probably, yeah.
A team has never come back from an 0-3 deficit. You know that. You said that you have to have belief. Why do you have belief in this team that you can be the first?
Because we've been through a lot. We've only been together for 5 months. There was a moment in the regular season when we lost like 5-6 in a row. And from there we just went up. And I believe we can do it because of teammates I have and the whole team. We have great chemistry. We're going to stay together no matter what.
I appreciate what he said, but frankly, I've heard from him before.
Thank you.
And so it's got to be actions over words. It's not going to necessarily be just tomorrow. It's got to be going forward. He's got a lot of years in his career.
Yeah.
He can accomplish anything. Like, what I want to see, Malika, is the interview 2 years from now after they win, or next year, whenever it is in the future, when he's holding the trophy and he's saying, yeah, I remember that. That's what I want to see, and I want that to start to go progress going forward.
Well, tomorrow you just want to see him set the tone, diving on the floor for loose balls, things to that nature, right? Like, that's what get guys going. That's what get the fans involved. That's what let your team know that you're all in, especially on the defensive side of things. RJ, I bought us some tape for you. Ready for it?
Okay, I'm ready.
This is the play that you've been asking for right here. It's coming up. Hold on, it's coming up.
Well,
so as he get to, here you go right here. Now look, RJ, this is the play that you talked about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was like, yo, what is he doing? He's already hit 2 threes. He's already hit 2 3s. What? Your strong side against it.
Sam Hauser
Is
had
what,
the game
Wendy?
of his life
Game
last
of his
night.
life because he was guarded by Luka.
Okay,
right.
look, here go the second effort, the multiple effort plays right here again. Like, Luka is pointing and everything. Look at Drew Holiday, just outworking him at the point. Look,
He didn't even work that hard.
He's complaining to everybody else. He goes to the official during the timeout, forget what his team is talking about, and still complaining about fouls.
He could have had 4 or 5 techs called on him in this game. Forget about the fouls.
Well,
He
and we
could have
kept
been-
waiting for, I want to get back to this in a second, but we kept waiting for some people to come along with Kyrie Irving to show up, which he did in that game, for Luka Doncic to show up in the same game, and for someone to come along with them. And Derek Lively had 11 points, 13 rebounds, the youngest player ever to have a double-double in the NBA Finals. We shared his story with everybody yesterday here on our show. Just take a listen to these really mature comments as he's thinking back to maybe what went wrong for these Dallas Mavericks.
We're trying to make them play in our game, but we're trying to understand what our game is because we're not on the same page. We can't sit here and be like, the ref did this, the ref did that. We can't control that. What we can control is the positions that we're putting ourselves in to get those fouls. Understanding that if we're talking and we're being mad at the referees, they're going to end up they're going to get the last laugh.
I love him being a 20-year-old, stepping up to the mic and holding accountability for himself and his team.
Yeah.
And I do think that in the conversation, a lot of people are talking about the issues defensively with Luka. He sort of redirected it to offense. And if we're going to talk about the offense, good news, Luka and Kyrie combined for 62 points, right? The bad news is the way that it happened. 48 out of the 50 isolation plays were for Luka and Kyrie. That meant their ball movement truly suffered. And if you actually look at this number, I'm going to pull up this dribbles. The ball movement was completely different. The Mavs are averaging 4.70 dribbles before taking a shot in the finals, the most in a series in the last 2 postseasons, while the Celtics are averaging 1.97 dribbles before taking a shot in the finals, the least. So those are 2 polar opposite approaches and 2 different styles. And I think what Luka is saying is, hey, if we get everyone feeling good, then maybe we can get more buy-in. But it really starts with Luka setting the tone.
It does, but also when you talk about like the way teams play, the way teams are set up, and the way they kind of manage this. When you're talking about great teams, where you're talking about the Cavs, when you talk about the Warriors, those teams move the ball.
Yeah.
There was still ISO, but there was also movement around that. I think they need a little bit more movement. You can keep the ISO, but you got to get more movement because if somebody's out, if somebody's foul trouble, somebody else needs to get a bucket. Yeah. You need that, and that's what the Celtics have.
It's just hard, too, when you're not touching the ball offensively and you're asked to put all your energy on the defensive side of the thing, and your franchise guy is not doing the same thing.
Dirk, he caught Steve Nash with an emphatic elbow that looked like it might have hurt a little bit with the Mavs. They were coming back in the 4th quarter here. After everything that went down in Brooklyn, fact or fiction, Brian, Steve Nash enjoyed rooting for Kyrie last night.
Fiction. I think he was rooting for the name on the front, maybe not the name on the back.
I'm with you on that, Wendy. I'm going fiction, too. Ain't no way in hell he was Kyrie.
Steve Nash was cheering for everyone involved with the Dallas Mavericks organization, period.
What a presidential answer there, Richard Jefferson. All right, last up, Chanae. Should we do one more?
Yes, let's
do one more. All right, the Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown, is now the overwhelming favorite. You can see him in practice right now, chatting to win the award. Odds are minus 350. Jason Tatum in second at plus 270. So fact or fiction, Jaylen Brown should be the Finals MVP.
I said it earlier today. I broke it down. The most important shot that we witnessed yesterday when it was 100-98. And I'll just say this. Closing time. That's what he does.
All right, so Shanae's saying fact.
I think it is fact. He's definitely the leader.
When you think about the plays in this series, when we look back 5 years from now, it's going to be a lot of plays that involve Jaylen Brown. His play, on both ends of the floor, I'm going facts. He's going to win the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
I agree. He's been the best player on the floor.
I thought
We're all watching.
We're
all watching the same game.
Yeah.
Jay Kidd said it after game one.
Well, through the early part of that game, though, I was thinking, okay, this could really get interesting. Jason Tatum is really making a push for it
Tatum
here.
just wants to win the championship.